Bon après-midi, mesdames et messieurs. Buenas tardes, damas y señores y caballeros. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is Sung-Hoon Kim. I'll be your MC for this event. And I'd like to welcome you to the International Civil Aviation Organization's 40th Assembly SkyTalks. We'll be coming to you live. So I'll ask you to please refrain from using your cell phones and put them in vibrating mode. Over this week and next week, we have a total of 68 presentations by aviation industry professionals. So if you have missed any of them, please make sure to go to ICAO site in YouTube and have a look for them. Now, today as you know, at ICAO we set standards, and then private industry goes out there and creates things from them. And we have quite a treat for you from Loon, which is one of Google's arms. The topic today is harnessing the stratosphere to connect people everywhere. I would like you to welcome Mr. Wajahat Beg, head of Overflights. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everybody. My name is Wajahat Beg, and I'm the head of Overflights for Loon. Loon is an independent company with an alphabet, which is a parent company of Google. As a company, Loon is on a mission to connect people everywhere by harnessing the power of the stratosphere. We've spent nearly a decade inventing and developing the technologies that enable us to operate unmanned balloons in the stratosphere for hundreds of days at a time and provide connectivity to underserved people and communities below. What Loon has created is a network of floating cell phone towers that can operate around the world to connect people below. In the last few years, Loon has used our stratospheric communication system to provide connectivity to people around the world where they need it most. After Hurricane Maria devastated the island of Puerto Rico in early 2017, Loon deployed internet balloons to provide emergency connectivity services to hundreds of thousands of people. In May of this year, Loon responded in Peru after a magnitude of 8.0 earthquake, which knocked down the ground-based communications infrastructure. Because Loon was actively testing in Peru, we were able to service within 48 hours of the earthquake. And in the coming months, Loon is planning to launch a more sustained, non-emergency service in hard-to-cover parts of Kenya, bringing more mobile internet connectivity to those who have been left behind by traditional internet infrastructure. Loon is able to provide internet to those in need because of our vast experience in flying the stratosphere. We have more experience flying in the stratosphere than any private entity in the world. To date, we have flown over 1 million hours in the stratosphere. In all of these hours aloft, we've traveled over 40 million kilometers, enough to go to the moon 100 times. As we've gained experience in the stratosphere, we've vastly improved the longevity of our balloon. In the early days of Loon, our balloons lasted for hours. Recently, we set a new stratospheric flight record of 223 days. As far as we know it, that's the longest sustained stratospheric flight ever recorded. Behind me, you can see the path taken by this record-setting balloon. It traveled over 180,000 kilometers and circled the globe once before we brought it to a controlled landing in the deserts of Peru, where our specially trained recovery experts retrieved it for analysis and recycling. In order to achieve our mission of connecting people everywhere, we know we must be a responsible airspace operator. That's why safety is our top priority and why we've embedded it in everything we do. Loon practices safety management and has ICAO compliant safety management system in place today. What you see behind me is a screen grab from Loon's mission control system. Based in Mountain View, California, our dedicated flight engineers use this system to manage and monitor our worldwide fleet of balloons 24/7 and 365 days. Since we're an alphabet company, we've harnessed the power of data and automation to help our flight engineers to do their job even more effectively. Every minute, each balloon reports thousands of data points, which are further analyzed by an automated system that checks for abnormalities. Any abnormalities become alerts, and the flight engineer's job is to diagnose, fix, or escalate any such issues. For some abnormalities, the automated system is able to fix it on its own. A member of every team involved in the flight operations is on call and pageable at all times to help and respond if needed, as well as our software engineering team. We have both a manual and automated escalation system. If an alert is not addressed within minutes, it automatically escalates to an online or on-call team member. Now, Loon's commitment to safety and responsibility extends beyond our airspace in which we operate. Every one of our balloons is 100% solar powered. Utilizing custom-designed solar panels, a Loon balloon gathers solar energy during the day, which charges the onboard batteries that enables nighttime operations. This renewable energy allows us to make necessary navigational maneuvers, as well as power our onboard systems and communications equipment. And of course, our commitment to the environment continues when our balloons reach the ground. We have teams of recovery experts around the world who recover our landed balloons and components for recycling and analysis. Just as Loon harnesses automation to enhance the safety of our fleet, automation also plays an important role in navigating the fleet around the world. Loon's balloons navigate by riding different wind currents in the stratosphere. Automated software then makes a minute-by-minute decision, which requires to ascend or descend to catch those currents. While a human operator can always step in, the Loon fleet is steered not by humans, but by some very intelligent machines and softwares. Over time, these machines have developed some clever and complex navigational behaviors that have surprised even those who built them in the first place. What you see here is the actual path of a balloon navigating across South America. Anyone familiar with sailing might recognize this technique as tacking. Over time, our balloons have learned the tacking, or flying this type of zigzag pattern. Is sometimes more efficient, probably the most efficient way of getting from point A to point B. While this is not a technique that human operators would intuitively think of, we're glad that our balloons discovered it. Because the first balloon that was allowed to execute this particular technique set a flight record time from Puerto Rico to Peru. We've seen other interesting behaviors emerging as well, including balloons that fly figure eights as a way of remaining over one area for extended periods of time, and balloons that loiter in one location while they await for a more favorable wind in the coming days. Now, Loon has done and will continue doing amazing things in the stratosphere. And we see the growing opportunity for others in the aviation community to join us. The stratosphere offers the aviation community the opportunity to trial many of the concepts that have worked for years in low-risk operational environment. With so much experience in the stratosphere, we're excited to play a key role along with ICAO in setting the safety standards that enable these future stratospheric operations. We are collaborating with other stratospheric operators and expect to be utilizing some form of unmanned traffic management, or UTM, in the long run. As part of this, we're also working closely with other UTM developers, some in the lower UTM environment, and expect to find similar concept of operations for the stratosphere in the years coming. I'd like to thank you, first of all, the civil aviation authorities and air navigation service providers that have been working with us over the years as we've reached this million-hour milestone. These collaborations provide Loon continued opportunities to learn and improve our capabilities, offer promise to other stratospheric operators, and provide new opportunities for CAAs and ANSPs to introduce new technology which benefit all of aviation and aerospace. As well, it supports the state's development consistent with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you once again. We'd love to have you on our booth for any further questions or any detailed questions, and thank you for paying attention. Have a good one.